Good morning once again. Welcome to the Brookview Elementary Title I Stakeholder Input Meeting. Please give me, I'm working on two computers, so it might be a little bit of a delay, so I do apologize for that. Here's a copy of our agenda. We're going to do our welcome. Then we're going to follow up with an overview and review of last year's survey results, as well as the school plan and the input for the new year school plan, and the review and the revision of the compacts for grades K through 2, as well as 3 through 5, and the parent and family engagement plan. And I'm going to use the acronym PFEP for that. So you'll hear that word a lot. PFEP is Parent and Family Engagement Plan. We'll tell you a little bit about the budget for Title I, as well as building staff capacity, and give you an overall briefing of the Parent and Family Engagement Program. So first and foremost, my name is Tamika Freeman. I am Brookview's Parent Liaison. And we also have with us on our call, Mrs. Jovita Wallace. If you'll unmute yourself and introduce yourself to those who may not know our amazing principal.
Hi, everyone. I am Principal Jovita Wallace, and I am so happy that you are here. Thank you for giving us the time and joining us for very important information.
Thank you. And I'm going to give you a brief overview of Title I. Title I is a federal program that provides funding to local school districts to help ensure that all children in the district Title I schools meet the state's high academic standards. Title I and Every Student Succeeds Act provides supplemental funding and requires that this funding be used to implement parental engagement programs in Title I schools. So that would be us, that would be Brookview. So here is a brief overview of the feedback results from last year's input meeting. And I'm going to go briefly over this because hopefully it's big enough for you all to read along with me. So I don't want to read something that's already on the screen. So just going to do a brief recap. How did you hear about the meeting? Through the parent liaison, most people say it. Title I school plan. What types of programs and activities will engage parents? How can we best share student assessments results? And iRead was the top selected choice for sharing results. The school and family compact. How can the school support you in assisting your child at home to achieve the school and district goals? What are the best way to communicate with parents about student learning? Most parents said it was half and half, I apologize. Breakdown of the goals and a tutor for the summer. School and parent and family engagement plan. How can the school effectively communicate with parents? What type of workshops would you like the school to provide? As you can see, the results say no changes because I feel like Brookview does an amazing job with our engagement workshops for our parents. Family engagement budget. Set aside what are things that you would like to see in the Parent Resource Center. A lot of people mostly said no changes because we do have a lot of technology. We have manipulatives. We have consumables. There are resources available to check out. And we'll talk about the Parent Resource Center in a few minutes. Building staff capacity. How can our school more effectively communicate with parents? What makes you feel valued as a parent? How can the school partner with parents in their child's education? And what programs would parents like to have implemented at the school? As you can see from our results, most parents feel like we're doing an amazing job. As they said, no change. Some people said get to know the teacher better, and we covered a building staff capacity workshop about building ties with parents and teachers last year. And the overall parent and family engagement program. Are there any other suggestions or feedback that you would like to share? At that time, no one had any additional feedback. Here is the review of our Title I school plan from 2019 to 2020 school year. I'm going to give you guys about a minute to look over, maybe not a minute, I'm sorry, maybe about 30 to 45 seconds if you want to look over that, just for the sake of time, and so I'm not reading things that you all can see.
Ms. Freeman, but we do have some people that are joining via phone that may not be able to see.
Oh, awesome and amazing. Well, I will give you a brief recap for those people who cannot see the screen. So in kindergarten, for last year, we're going to talk about reading first and then math. 66% of kindergarten students performing below the 30th percentile will move to the 31st to 85th percentile with A reading on a fast bridge assessment. Fast bridge is one of our assessment tools that we use. And for math, 84% of kindergarten students performing below the 30th percentile will move to the 31st through 85th percentile for the fast bridge assessment for math by May 2020. And these will all be results for May 2020, as this was the plan for last year. For first grade, 53% of first grade students performing below the 30th percentile will also move for the 31st to the 85th percentile, as well as an A reading on fast bridge and fast bridge assessment on a math. 77% of first grade students performing below 30th percentile will also move 31st to 85th percentile. My apologies. For second grade, 40% of second grade students performing below the 30th percentile will move to the 31st through 85th percentile on A reading fast bridge assessment, as well as 87% of second grade students performing below the 30th percentile will move to the 31st through 85th percentile on a math fast bridge assessment. When we get to third through fifth grade, it jumps over a little bit as far as where the data comes from. We rely a little bit more on those Georgia milestones results for third through fifth grade. So for third grade, increase the percentage of FAY, which is full academic year students scoring at the proficient level or above on the Georgia milestones ELA assessment from 16% to 30%. And in math, increase the percentage of full academic year students scoring at the proficient level or above on the Georgia milestones assessments for math end of grade. The EOG is end of grade, my apologies, from the 18th to 30th percentile. For fourth grade, increase the percentage of FAY students scoring at the proficient or above level on Georgia milestones assessment ELA end of grade from 13 to 30% by May. And in math for fourth grade, increase the percentage of students scoring proficient or above on GMAS, Georgia milestones, from 27% to 30%. And last but certainly not least, our fifth grade, we would like to increase the percentage of FAY students, full academic year, scoring at proficient level or above on the GMAS assessment for ELA from the 16th% to the 30th percentile, and increase the proficiency level to proficient or above, my apologies, for the GMAS assessment math end of grade from 16% to 30% as well. All of this information, ladies and gentlemen, can be found in the links that I posted above in the chat. These all come from last year's parent and family compacts, and they are located above in our chat. Are there any questions so far about this data moving forward? Okay. So the input for Title I school plan for this current school year. We have developed and will revise yearly our school improvement plan with the participation and input of all invited parents and stakeholders, which includes the staff, community members, and parents, which are all of you all, thank you again, who will participate in carrying out our comprehensive school improvement plan. Additionally, we will evaluate the Title I plan by monitoring iReady data, Check for Understanding, and Fulton County Schools interims and assessments from Illuminate. This data will inform our teachers of the instructional adjustments that are needed on a weekly basis and the necessary instructional coaching supports that are required. Here, ladies and gentlemen, you are found our QR code for the revision of our 2019-2020 School Parent Compact. The link is also above, and if you have a QR code reader, you can use your QR code reader to access these documents as well. Being that this meeting is usually face-to-face and we're doing it virtually, it's a little bit difficult for us to go page by page through these documents. So I have included them in this presentation. They can also be found on our Brookview Elementary School website for review. And we're going to include a link at the end for an input survey. So you can take these documents and look through them and use these to complete your survey of things that you all would like to see. Now, what is a school and parent compact? A school parent compact is an agreement that parents, students, and teachers develop together. It explained how the parents and teachers will work together to ensure that all students receive the individual support they need to reach and exceed grade level academic standards. So once again, you can find those on our Brookview website, as well as scanning the QR codes. And I've also uploaded those links in the chat above. Here as well, and once again, because this meeting is usually live and doing it virtually, it's very difficult for me to give you those documents you need. But once again, here's our Parents and Family Engagement Plan from 2019-2020. The Parent and Family Engagement Plan, or PFEP, it establishes the school's expectations for family engagement and describes how the school will implement a number of specific parent engagement programs. For us, our parent engagement programs will be our curriculum workshops, our literacy week, stream nights, math workshops, and we have all of those in a calendar. And I am going to actually, they are on the Brookview website, but I will make sure that it is available for everyone to see. And I will also send out an email of those calendar events scheduled for this year. Parent and family.
I'm going to chime in really quickly.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
So parents, I want to encourage you to, number one, make sure that we're staying connected. Number two, use our website as a resource. There's a lot of information there. And as a Title I school, which I'll be talking about this evening during our Title I parent meeting and State of the School address, you'll find out why it's so important to be informed about Title I federal funding and how it impacts our schools. So just make sure that you stay connected and are constantly referencing and referring to our website as needed.
Thank you very, very much, Mrs. Wallace. All right, parent and family engagement. This is what we talked about, that 1% of the budget that's set aside, and if any, possible additional funding. The principal uses the Title I funds for a variety of reasons, such as staffing, parent liaison, our instructional coaches, as well as the purchase of instructional materials and resources for our Parent Resource Center, where we have learning games, consumable materials, parenting resources, manipulative, and we also offer parent services. There used to be a time where you could come in, but right now, we still will offer some of those services, but they will be virtual, such as if you need a resume printed or copied or emailed. Those documents can be emailed to Mrs. Freeman, and I will let you know when they are ready to be picked up or sent out or otherwise. So although we cannot still come into the building, the Parent Resource Center will always be open virtually. So these are some things that I would like you all to think about. And you can drop your suggestions in the chat, or you can email them to me at freemantc@fultonschools.org. If remaining funds are available, what kind of instructional materials and supplies would you like to see added to the Parent Resource Center? Additionally, what other parent engagement events and workshops would you like to participate in? As we know, most parent engagement events and workshops will be virtual this year, but we will take any suggestions and see what we can do to make them happen. So please drop your suggestions in the comment or the chat, please, excuse me. And if you need to think about it a little while, you can email me later, freemantc@fultonschools.org. Building staff capacity training. In order to build strong parent-teacher relationships, the Parent Liaison offers 2 building staff capacity trainings, once in the fall, once in the spring, where the parent input from the survey that you're going to hopefully complete for me, where parent input is used to develop professional development materials and resources to educate our staff about parent and family engagement. So these are some things that I would like feedback on. How teachers can reach out to and effectively communicate with our parents. How teachers can work as equal partners with our parents. What additional parent programs you would like seen at Brookview. And most importantly, how can we build ties between home and school, especially now? So these are some very important ideas that I would like you all to think upon. Once again, you can drop your suggestions in the chat, or if you need a little bit more time, please feel free to email me at any time. Are there any questions about building staff capacity training?
So parents and staff, we really would love your input and ideas. So please, please, please drop them in the chat. If there are ways that you want us to improve our home and school communication, if there are parent workshops that you think we need to offer, or supports, like let's say you need help with Microsoft Teams as you're supporting your child remotely. Like those are the things that we can make happen, but we need to hear from you to know what kind of workshops you would like to see happening for parents to support learning and the homeschool connection.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Wallace. And hopefully, I'm hoping each and every one of you will come back tonight for our Title I parent meeting and state of school address, where we will also discuss the workshops and give you the calendar of dates. Absolutely. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was a question for me. If there are no further questions, we're going to move on. The Family School Partnership Program believes that parents, schools, families, and communities working together can create meaningful partnerships that ultimately lead to significant gains across the board in student achievement. As a Title I school, there are several required tasks that must be completed to meet state compliance. One of these tasks is getting input from our school stakeholders, which is everyone in this chat right now. To submit your input, please complete our annual parent input survey. You can use this quick QR code, and I'm going to also, it is also in the chat already towards the top. And I apologize, I can't drop it again. Oh, yes, I can. Awesome, guys. I'm going to redrop the link to our survey. That is our parent input survey. They ask students, parents, teachers, and staff a series of questions. These are very, very important documents for us as a Title I school because it helps us know what we need to do to make school better for you all, for our students, for our families. And at Brookview, that's what we're all about, our students. So any input and all input is considered and no bad input is given. So please, if you wouldn't mind, complete the survey for us using the link that I just dropped in the chat. Are there any questions about the input survey? All right, thank you all. I'm going to move forward. Here is our virtual parent resource center. I, as the parent liaison, I am responsible for the parent resource center. If you look here, you'll be able to, on our Brookview website, ding, 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 Brookview website, you'll be able to take an interactive tour, which means you'll be able to click on several of the icons to be taken to different web links and pages. As far as we have a channel for games, learning resources and materials for parents. So it's really actually a cool site and is located on our Brookview website. You'll go under our school, Title I, and the Parent Resource Center. And I'm going to try to play this video, Ms. Wallace. I'm looking at you. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear my video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Okay. And that is a brief little intro video discussing the Parent Resource Center and myself, Tamika Freeman, as the Parent Liaison. So once again, please go to our Brookview website. There's so much information, and our website is updated constantly. So please make sure you all are using our website. Last but certainly not least, are there any questions for me? Or myself or Mrs. Wallace? I apologize.
So parents, I really, really need you to drop at least one thing that we can get better at. Like we need some feedback, something. And I have a couple of them here. I am a great, great cold call person. So that means I call on names that I see, especially if I don't hear voices. So I see a parent that's helping us out. Give us some feedback because we need to get better. We're trying to get better, but it's important to get the feedback from you guys. So it looked like someone was trying to unmute. Does any feedback, input, things that you would like to see? So I want to just make sure you know, parents, even while we're working remotely, we do have materials that can be checked out for use at home. You just have to go through Ms. Freeman by sending an email to let her know what you're looking for, and she can contact you with regards to that, because we're not allowed to have parents in the building yet with the pandemic. But again, we have resources you can, so if your baby's struggling with, let's say, multiplication facts, you can check out flashcards from the, and make sure you bring them back, almost like the media center, where we can check out materials and use them at home, practice with your baby, and send it back. So there are resources for you here at the school. But we also need to know what you need so we can purchase the right things for parent support.
Well, once again, if you all think of anything at any time, seriously, please do not hesitate to email me, freemantc@fultonschools.org. I just dropped my email address in the chat once again. So if you all think of anything, please, at any time, feel free to email myself or Mrs. Wallace. We are always here to support and to listen. With that being said, if there's no questions for us,
or feedback for us,
anybody
want to open? Miss Yolanda, you don't have anything to share with us? We have a couple of people. Any parents, any ideas that we could do better? Because I know we have things to work on. So I'm going to make the assumption that we're just awesome.
We are great on purpose. That's Brookview. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again so much for attending our first Title I meeting. We hope that you will join us again this evening at 6:00 p.m. for our Title I parent meeting and state of school address led by Mrs. Wallace, and I will be there as well. Now, this is one of the most important parts of this meeting. You see that evaluation QR code? And I've also dropped it in our chat in a link as a Title I requirement. I have to have evaluations of my meetings to know, first of all, that people attended. Secondly, how they felt the meeting was. And C, you can also put additional input or feedback in the evaluation form as well. I'm going to stop the recording. And I